Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is another Stamp With Me hop, so make sure you check out everyone who's playing along. We're all going to try and incorporate stamping on our layout. So I am back with my Felicity Jane kit that Kelly sent me, and I am back with the Hannah portion of the collection. You may have noticed this month and may have heard me say that I kind of split this goodie bag into two parts, one kind of centered around the Hannah collection, one centered around the Jenny collection. So I've been trying to alternate with my pages which one I'm using. This one in particular, I loved these photos. My brother and my mother are both kind of wearing pinky toned shirts, and everyone else is kind of neutral and the background's neutral, so I thought that screamed the Hannah collection. I really wanted to use the Hannah collection for this. This is a fun page. This is from last Christmas. It was after Christmas, actually. I believe it was the 28th, but my brother was home from Hawaii on leave for Christmas, and so we wanted to make sure to get a family photo while he was home, because we don't get that opportunity that often. And especially because he's about to go to Germany for 3 years for his next portion of being in the Army. So we really wanted to make sure we got a good group family photo. And I don't know that we've had a family photo with Bennett in it yet, unless he was like, I mean, we probably did, and he was just like a baby. But he's in toddler mode now in this photo, and I just think it's hysterical. We had to take so many photos to get one that was like everyone was looking at the camera smiling. But I just thought the outtakes were so hilarious. I wanted to get them on a page as well. So I have 4 3x4s of some of the photos I just thought were funny, but that we didn't want to use as like the actual photo for our Christmas card. So I really just wanted to document that. And that's basically what this page is about. I have a whole bunch of Christmas photos I need to record using my Christmas collections and Christmas stuff. But because this one was post-Christmas, it's really just a family photo. I thought it was okay to use this Hannah collection. I thought it went really well with my tones in the photo. So I decided to piece together my 12 by 12 using this pink diagonal and then one of the solids. I really like how that looks, and immediately that kind of gives me a place to place my photo strip. And then I kind of have this, I don't know how big it is, but this mini layout to the right side that I get to work on. So that was new, that was fun, and it was a little restrictive because I have this horizontal 4x6 photo, so there's only so many ways I can move that around over there, and I really wanted to use a bunch of these coordinating pocket cards. So I'm not quite sure where the photo's going at first, but I started layering up all of these elements from these pocket cards and just loving this little cluster that it was creating. So I decided just to focus on that for a bit, and I'll worry about where the photo's going in a minute. But the sentiment on this pink color blocked pocket card didn't really go. I'm sorry, there's a truck that just squeaked if you heard that outside the window. There was a sentiment on this pink pocket card that didn't really go with the photos, but this black piece that I already fussy cut says "Finding Beauty in the Mess," and I thought that was just so appropriate to the theme of this layout. I really wanted that to be on the pink pocket card, so I went ahead and layered that up, and then I decided I need to do some stamping. It would be really cool to use the Hannah floral as a layering bit. So I think I actually did this last time I had the Hannah collection, but I love the floral that's in the stamp set. So I went ahead and stamped and heat embossed that, and you'll see me fussy cut that in a minute. I really only needed one of these, but I decided I had a scrap of vellum that would fit 3 really nicely, so I would go ahead and do all 3, and if I didn't use all 3 on this one, I would have them to use on future layouts, but I ended up using all 3, so it worked out well. But I just started to create this little cluster using all my pocket cards, and I thought that was so cute. So that kind of was where my focus went to. I almost forgot about the photo for a minute. But you'll see kind of that's where I started. I also pulled in a few scraps from the last time I had this collection. There are a few just scraps of solid colors, so I did take a pink and a white and cut banners into them, and that's going to be a part of that cluster. I really wanted this cute little pink heart that says love to make it on the page, and I really tried to make that work over by the circle that says Finding Beauty in the Mess. But I ended up going a different direction with that. I thought because the font was the same font, it would look better if I separated those two elements across the page versus having them right next to each other, because it being the same font, you might try and read those two sentiments together instead of separately. So I did end up taking one of the circular die cuts that come in the collection. It's just a heart. And I decided to put that where I was going to put the pink heart I die cut from a pocket card. And then I had that heart to use somewhere else. So I can't really see what I'm doing because I'm at the bottom of the screen, but I'm pretty sure I'm just trying to piece all of this together. I am going to pop the, I'm going to try and pop the circular heart die cut up on some foam. I don't even know if I have that out yet. No, I don't have it out yet. I can see because I just rotated my layout. What I decided to do though, because I am using this black piece and everything that's on the layout right now is all pink and there's no black. After I layered up that Finding Beauty in the Mess, I added black to the layout. So I thought that was going to look very awkward if I didn't introduce black elsewhere on the layout to make it balanced and make it look like it was supposed to be there. So I do have some diagonal black and white washi. It took me a while there to tear an edge on it because it's kind of skinny washi to begin with. So trying to tear it was tricky. But I did layer that up beside the photo strip. That way black is over on that side of the page. So it's a little bit more balanced now that I have this black element on the right side of the page, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to get all of that laid down. I do want the washi to kind of line up with the photo, so it takes me a minute to try and get that trimmed up. But then I'll go back to my layering. But I think it looks so cute, that little vellum floral heat embossed detail over there. I think it's so nice, especially because this black oval is very bold and kind of in your face with it being so black on such a light pink layout, that I think having it layered with this soft floral white embossed detail just looks really nice together. I don't know, that juxtaposition, but here I'm back again, worrying there's not enough black to make that make sense. So I did decide to layer this larger photo in black. That way I have a heavier black detail elsewhere, so that's not the only heavy black thing. And then I'm going to layer that again on just a skinny strip, a skinny bit of white, just to have a second layer so it's not just this black. But I think it looks so nice, and now that black is a little bit more balanced and I'm liking it more. I was just determined to use it, so I was doing everything in my power to make it look good with what I was working with. So yeah, I like this little cluster down here on the bottom right, so that puts my photo on the top half of the page. So I just need to find out how, like, what I'm gonna layer up on the photo now, because now the photo looks naked. I have this really fun photo strip on the left, I have this cute little cluster on this pocket here on the right, and the photo looks naked. I'm still gonna work on this little cluster here. I think this is where I'm going to cut those banners out of my scraps. So I'm just going to get this little clustered 3x4 card together, but you will start to see once I start needing to layer up my 4x6 that things are going to have to change a little bit, but I don't know that yet, so I'm just going to keep working on my little card here. And there we go, I'm starting to work on the photo. I had these two vellum pieces left over, and I was like, well, I have this vellum piece down here. I feel like I need that to be balanced across the page as well. So I just tucked a couple of them up by the photo. And I do think that looks nice, but it definitely needs something else layered in. I feel like that little card down there is such a cute little layered cluster that I need to make this layered up just as cute for that to all be cohesive. So I'm just going through my die cuts here. I did find this little card that has some black lines on it, so again that helps me pull in some of the black, but it also has the pink, so I really like when you have one element that ties two colors you're trying to make go together, which of course black goes with everything. But I did like that detail, and then there was a word that said season on it, and because this is a Christmas season, it is a season that's very family oriented, and this is our family photo. I thought again that would be appropriate. It's going to be right behind my Christmas photos, so I thought if I had a little bit of a Christmas thing, it wouldn't be terrible. But I really like how that's coming together. Again, this word season pulls in more black. There's a couple little florally leafy sprigs that are black and white, so again that helps pull more black in. But I like how that cluster is looking up there. I'm starting to realize, especially once I put the tag up there, that I was going to want something threaded through the tag, either twine or ribbon or something, and it would go off of the page, which sometimes I'm okay with. It's going to stick out of the top of the album. Sometimes I don't mind that. If it's twine, sometimes I just loop it down so it's not going out of the album. But I'm starting to realize as I build up on this cluster over my photo that it's looking a little bit awkward having, I don't know, it on the top of the page. So you'll see in a minute. I'm still trying to figure out and glue together this whole cluster down here. But what I kind of decided to do, and you'll see in a minute, is flip these two elements. Once I move the photo down, that whole cluster looks so much nicer because it fits right into the bottom portion of this design, whereas right now there's this kind of awkward gap on the top right of the photo, and then there's this whole empty space above where this card and banners are up to the photo, and it was just looking kind of weird. I was trying to figure out what I would add in those areas to make it not look awkward. But yeah, in the end, ended up flipping those two elements, and it immediately made sense. I had to change the pocket card a little bit. But yeah, you'll see that here in a minute. I think I'm thinking about doing that now. I can't remember. I literally just made this page before I did this voiceover, and I already can't remember what I did when. But I do like how it's looking up here, so I am going to go ahead and try and glue all of this stuff together without gluing it to the background, because I know already that it might not stay there. I just don't know what to do with it yet. But I like how it's looking, so I'm going to go ahead and glue all of these layers to each other, but still make it movable on the background, and then kind of experiment from there. I don't know. Oh, I love that little maroon tab. That's so cute. So I did end up switching out the hearts like I said I would on the pocket card, but I did want to still use this really sweet little pink heart that I fussy cut from one of the pocket cards. So that's what I ended up doing. There's a really sweet little maroon tab that pulls in the maroon from the pocket card, and I just layered one of the black and white ephemera leafy sprigs behind that and popped that heart up on some foam, and I think that's a cute little mini cluster. I think it looks adorable. So that kind of frames up the photo, if you will, between the tag and the title cluster and then this tiny little heart cluster, but I think that's so cute. I love that little detail. I love how many pocket cards I got used up on this page. I think I used 4 of them, but I'm not mistaken. Did I? 3. I used 3 of them. But still, I think that's pretty good. I'm really trying to be good about using my pocket cards. So yeah, just gluing all of that stuff together. I think that looks adorable. I don't know where I went right now. There I am. Oh yes, so I wanted to finish off the title. And again, I wanted black, and I wanted something small because I didn't want it to overwhelm this little tiny cluster I already had going up here with all of these light frilly details, but I knew I wanted black. So I thought at first maybe using Tim Holtz tiny word stickers. I thought that would be really cute, and it would have, but I did remember this is Felicity Jane. I actually do have a small puffy tile sticker that I haven't used that often, so I just wanted to add "'tis the" so that the season made sense. That way it reads "'tis the season," and that way your brain automatically kind of triggers that it's around Christmas time. So I kind of like that subtle detail, and I think these tiny little puffy stickers, A, they're just so cute, but B, they pull in more black, and then they just kind of finish it off. I couldn't really figure out how I wanted them laid out, but I thought them in a line looked a little awkward. So I decided to stagger the words leading down to season, and right away I think that looks so much cuter. So there's that, and then I decided to glue all these pieces together, ready to glue it down. And right before I stuck it down, I was like, hold up, like it still looks awkward. What am I going to do with the rest of the design? And I'm pretty sure here in a second is where I decide to flip them a little bit. Oh, I do want to put ribbon through this tag first. I had some leftover of the white ribbon. I've used this on a previous layout, but Kelly sent it tying the pens that she sent me together, so I wanted to make sure I incorporated that as well. And so I had a little scrap of this from when I used it on a previous page, and I thought that would be perfect to thread through this tag, so I'm just doing that really quick too. But yeah, once I move this to the bottom of the page, it just all flowed so much better. And it did look a little awkward because the banners were on the bottom of this pocket card cluster. And design wise, if it's going to be in the upper right hand corner, I kind of wanted the banners on the top. But once I scooched those over and kind of remade that cluster to fit in that corner, I think this flows so much better, because where it was before, I felt like I would have needed another element to tie these together. Whereas now I feel like they just flow together and I don't really need to add anything else. So that's kind of cool. I like it so much better once I flip those two things. So really all I have left is finishing details. But 100% are much happier with this design. So I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And then I think I will pull in my finishing stuff. But I do just want to make sure that it's evenly spaced. I'm just trying to measure it and make sure it's evenly spaced on the bottom of the page. And then I realized that I had a huge chunk of this background that was going to be covered. So before I glued it down, I did just quickly gut what's going to be behind the 4x6, so I have that to use on another page. I didn't gut what's behind the 3x4 card because there actually is a 3x4 card with this pattern. It's just on a smaller scale, but the chunk that was behind the 4x6 photo I thought was large enough to be worth saving. So I did just do that really quick before I glued this down. And then you'll see again, I'm just going to fill this hole in with a scrap piece of paper just so it's, more stable. And I have glue on the back that's in the hole now that I need it to stick to, so it doesn't stick to other layouts. But I'm just doing that really quick. As far as finishing touches, I was thinking originally I would pull in some wood grain because we do have this wooden wall behind us. I thought that would be really cool. But as this progressed and I started pulling in these black elements, I decided to go more with sticking with the pink and black. So I do have that whole little cute ephemera sheet that Kelly sent me. It has some of the Amanda puppy shapes on it and some of the Elizabeth epoxy shapes. And both of those have pink hearts on them. So you'll see me pull that in a minute. But I thought those cute little pink hearts would be perfect. And then I think I'd pull in some black Nouveau drops just as a little detail too, just to have one final little touch of black. I keep forgetting I did all of these steps. My goodness. Yes, there is some more washi. That's another thing. I'm trying really hard every time I use the Hannah collection to use some of the Willow washi. And there was a black and white strip of washi. So again, just did the torn detail, and I'm adding that to both of my clusters just to add a little bit more black. And it also references the torn washi that's on the photo strip to the left. So I do like how that kind of makes it cohesive. I thought about using the same washi I used on the photo strip, which I think would have made it look more cohesive than using a different pattern. But in the end, I really want to use the Willow washi. I think it looks so nice with the Hannah collection. And if I was thinking earlier, I probably would have used that washi along the photo strip as well. But here's where I'm going in with my little epoxy hearts. I think they're so cute. I'm using 2 different tones in each cluster. And then I really wanted a third element, but the other pink was a little bit too bright for the subdued pinks of the Hannah collection. So I went with these pastel pink hearts that are in the Amanda puffy sticker sheet. And there was 1 pink heart left over, so I did add it down to my little mini cluster on the photo. And I really like how that looks. So here are my Nouveau drops, and I think the close-ups are coming in here in a minute. But thank you guys so much for watching. We've got some stamping on a layout. Make sure you check out everyone else who's playing along. I'll link them in the description, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.